What's going on, YouTubers? Welcome to another video. So we do have multiple statues currently in transit, tracking received, UPS picked up. So expect some unboxing and reviews later this week. In the meantime, I wanted to get back to re-reviews for you guys. We're going to go ahead and do it here in the video game room. So of course we look at older pieces. I've never actually, reviewed or just re-reviewing pieces to see, do they still hold up? What do I consider their value at, and so forth. So we're going to look at a video game statue. I swear to Jupiter that thing follows me every time I'm downstairs. Oh my goodness. Alright, I can't remember if I did Master Chief. I think I did, so I'm not going to do him. I'll have to look back on YouTube. We'll do an MK statue, because MK are some of my more older statues. So we'll go ahead and look at a Mortal Kombat statue. We can go ahead and look at Shao Kahn today. So this is the bloody exclusive version, limited to 150. And then they made a normal version, a few hundred. When PCS was doing all these different MK, it was Jerry Macaluso who was in charge, not Ant Adams, who bought the company from him in essence. Because their company was going under, PCS. They actually ended up scamming people, taking deposits when they shouldn't, and they were really going under until Ant more or less bought them, paid off their debts, refunded people for canceled projects. There's no doubt that Jerry Macaluso was a talented sculptor. What he wasn't good at was business. He never should have done the business side of stuff. And he admitted this. He's like, yeah, I suck at business. He's a sculptor, though. The guy's talented. I remember him hand sculpting this out of clay. He was posting weekly updates. I'm going to be honest, back in about 8 years ago when this stuff was coming out, I was always so excited for the PCS newsletter. They would do a tease of an MK statue or give you a shipping update. Oh my gosh, I was so excited for that Scorpion when it first came out. And I was always so excited for the PCS newsletter every week. I was pre-ordering them day one. You had to pre-order so quick, so their website was down. And when I finally got the pre-order in, confirmation, I was so happy. So Shao Kahn was no exception. Prior to this, I had the MK9 one, which was underscaled. And this one was not underscaled. I like the pose. I think the pose is great. The sculpt, the detail, fantastic. The biggest problem is the base. I've said it time and time again. I do not like PCS's black bases. That's one thing I really dislike about all their old MK, old Street Fighter statues. I do not like it. What's worse than a black is just a glass. That Gentle Giant did, for my old Black Widow, my Groot. Glass is even worse. Black is better than glass. But plain black base like this is still one of the worst bases you could possibly do. It doesn't tell a story. It's cheap looking. I just don't like it. When they upgraded on the MK9, MKX, especially since it got the underbase, I was much happier with those style bases. They tell a story that are way more detailed. And so this Shao Kahn had so much potential, but they effed it up big time with that garbage ass base. I hate it. That's a 0 out of 10 base for me. Shao Kahn himself, he's a solid 8 out of 10, folks. This piece is freaking awesome. Now, it does have a light up, which I never use. You have to remove the helmet, which is annoying. Actually, that's the head, but the helmet also comes off. You have to remove the... I don't think I could do it one-handed, but that helmet comes off, and there's a button you press to light it up. So I've lit it up once since I've gotten it. I removed the batteries and never lit it up again. I really hate pieces when you have to remove something to turn the light up on and then put it back. I never use those light ups ever again. This is mixed media, so that's pretty cool. This is also mixed media. Everything else, I believe, is fully sculpted. All these straps, though, are mixed media. Straps for this, mixed, Nice, good skin texture. Very buff, ripped, veiny. Looks really good. This is also very heavy and huge, and I definitely prefer the bloody one. I wanted that bloody aspect. That's one thing I wish PCS did better on MK, is they made their statues more gory. Now it's probably due to licensing, because in general MK's gotten, I know their licensing's been weird, but I wish they did more gory stuff. Like when they did a Sub-Zero, they should have had him, holding Scorpion's head. And so this one also does come with a swap out portrait. The unmasked portrait, I hate it, don't care for it, will never display it. Shao Kahn has to have his mask. That is the way to do it. This is the classic version, from Mortal Kombat 2. Ultimately, I do prefer MK9 armor over MK Classic. But MK Classic is still very cool, and Shao Kahn was such a great boss, great villain, both in the, game, the movies. Such a cool boss. I love him. I always love that statement in Mortal Kombat Annihilation when he's fighting Liu Kang. There's a reason I put them there together, because they fought in MK Annihilation. But, he's just like weak and pathetic. I love when he said that. Overall, this statue, I think it's worth $500. That's what I value this at. I believe this went up for retail around $350 back in the day, if I remember correctly. But I would say this is worth $500, maybe $600. It's about 2 feet tall, so overall it's a pretty big piece, but I still wish it was bigger. Like you look at Marcus, like he's way bigger, much taller. I would love this to get a custom base and make the statue go from here to there. I wish this statue was 30 inches tall, 6 inches on the base. Maybe standing on top of some, characters he defeated, or on his throne. Now, the PCS did do the Shao Kahn on Throne 1/3, which apparently Jerry Macaluso stole it, is what I heard. I pre-ordered that. I thought that was going to be the best statue they ever made. And I was absolutely in love with it, and then it got canceled. I was beyond devastated. I really wish PCS would go back and make that. Just make the exact same statue. I would buy it in a heartbeat. I'd pay $3,000 for that if I had to. I absolutely loved that Shao Kahn on Throne. Now, as far as I'm aware, there's a custom Shao Kahn being made in 1/3 on Throne. If it looks good, I'll buy it. Because that's one thing I would love in 1/3 is a Shao Kahn to go in this general setup. I'd remove both busts and do a Shao Kahn next to Goro. Shao Kahn's way cooler looking than like a Shang Tsung, so I'd much prefer a Shao Kahn over a Shang Tsung. Because he's the ruler of Outworld. Shang Tsung's, just like his underling over Earthrealm. But yeah, for me, Shao Kahn 1/3 is what I would absolutely love to get. I don't care to get like a 1/3 Motaro or Kintaro. I'm happy with just Goro. But Shao Kahn is definitely a statue I would get in 1/3. So I'm hoping we get it in 1/3, whether it's on Throne or just standing. I don't care. I want a Shao Kahn 1/3. Classic MK9 would be my preference. Definitely not like MK1. I did not like his look in that at all. General Shao, hated what they did with that. It was terrible. But overall, this statue still holds up outside of the base. I still think it's a great statue. I do recommend it. It's still the best Shao Kahn statue currently released. I think the custom, based off what, I know, will beat this. And I'll get it in 1/3 when that eventually releases. If it does. But for now, I'll stick with this one. Shao Kahn is an awesome villain. I think we deserve more Shao Kahn love out there. So, PCS hasn't made an MK statue in a while. I think the last one was just the... I can't believe they did Katana Molina again in 1/3. That was so stupid. But those were the last MK statues they made. They canceled the Raiden project. That looked amazing, which is such a shame. But PCS has really just done nothing with MK recently. So I hope Prime 1 takes up the license, gives us 1/3 MK, 1/4 dioramas. I would love that. Now, I'm still a huge fan of Mortal Kombat. Don't get me wrong. Like, it is one of my favorite IPs, without a doubt. I still love this Shao Kahn. Anyways, folks, hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a great day.